I'm seeing 20/20 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The winner here goes to the Super Bowl, and we'll know soon enough which team that'll be as we are underway in the AFC title game.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go now. 30 base.
You don't know no better. Check it back, check it back.
General West.
Switch. Kill.
You're out.
Check safety. Check three. Watch safety creeping.
There go.
They'll run on first down. It's Knight. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
81, hit it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 44-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Don't be mad. There's more coming. 61, matchbox lights.
Check.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Two draw corkers.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now this throw caught left side. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it. You were the smart one, whatever they're doing.
And we'll get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. From 17 yards out, and the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set. 10-2 stop. Now.
On first down, Hatcher, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Bam!
Check, crunch, out. Hey,
Ready?
They'll try the left side. Hatcher, and not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh. Hey, wahoo!
Tiny to the right. Move. You got 3 down.
He'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Go!
Check 15. Check. Go.
Now a give right side. Hatcher. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Hey, Sam off.
6 guys. Check 24. Check.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready? 10 Lobo. Look at me. Door.
Check 25. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Check 37. Sponge. No. Check
Hit it.
On 2nd down, Hatcher. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
94 is the mark. Go, tackle. Let's go. We got this.
5.
94 is the mark. 94.
They'll look to throw here. Forced out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Rock it.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on an expected passing situation.
Yeah. 53 at the mic. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Gilmore. He's going to sling this deep down. And got his man complete. The 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. 79 yards. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. On this stage, conference championship game, every play is magnified, and that was a big play.
No doubt about it. One thing that has these guys a step away from a shot at a big game, their big play ability. They can strike from anywhere.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And this kick will be touched down as they spot it inside the 45-yard line.
At their own 44-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well.
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. It's a big play for the Jaguars. And even 40 yards. Being chased out left. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we scored touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
AFC title game, second quarter action, 2 minutes to play. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. In a bit, the coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
So their move is to decline that so they don't get another second down. It'll be third.
So that has to tell us that they're pretty confident in their third down defense, right? Whether it's a sub package or nickel package, whatever they want to run out there, they feel like they can defend here on third down.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. And came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Look at the spin. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Yeah, let's get second down.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Texans scoop it. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down. So now they have to contend with second and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Second and 13. This pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Well, they've got it down to the 3, but now this is third and goal.
Hey. 4 down.
Back to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. From 3 yards out as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football. Full half to be played.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On first down, Gilmore. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. Off the play fake. Gilmore. Throws right side, and that's complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will do it for this first half. So we are halfway home to figuring out who will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Dancing to his left, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... He's got a man, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Here's Freeman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Keep 15, keep 15. Single.
2nd and 10. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. Off play action. Gilmore. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Off the play fake. Gilmore. This throw caught right around the 6. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Operating from the gun. Gilmore. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. From 4 yards out. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Well, they've been part of the cream of the crop in the AFC all season. It's becoming more and more evident that they're going to get a shot to play for that Super Bowl title.
The momentum has been building, and you mentioned how well they've played throughout the season. It's all come together for them, and they are really laser-focused on being that team to represent in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they have been dominant in this one. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Leo.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hatcher. They find some open field here. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A big-time play there for the Texans. Give him 55 yards on the ground.
First down, Texans.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They run the counter. It's Freeman, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Bravo.
Back to throw here. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. 1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Go,
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Now, that turnover might just about do it here. Fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now a handoff here to his running back, and he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. On 2nd down now, it's Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground. Hatcher, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Come on, set. 60 or. Go. 5.
They'll drop the throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
94 is the mic. 94 is the mic. Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Let's go.
They'll set up a throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. This is Harris. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Got it.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Hey, exit. Ready.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Look at me. Zipper.
Watch the twist. Mike.
Yo, go.
Mike. All day, pump. Let's
go.
From the gun, Gilmore. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Back to throw. Gilmore. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
On the ready. Hey, orbit.
Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
Shut up.
Operating from the gun. Gilmore. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. From the gun, Gilmore. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Incomplete in the end zone. It's now 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
53, Mike, 53. You go night-night. Don't go night-night. Back.
80 weapon.
Hatchet.
Five.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. So, Charles, oh so close on one side to getting to that Super Bowl. Oftentimes, we just show the stage and the glitz and the glamour and the confetti. You sometimes forget about those guys going home. It's got to be tough.
It's got to be beyond tough because finding a way to steel yourself, make that resolve to come back and do it again because it took a lot of work just to get to this point. It's going to be a difficult offseason for them. Let's see how they bounce back.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.